agreement between Zimbabwe and Dangote Group to do various investments in various sectors.
Tonight, Africa watches as a new chapter unfolds in Zimbabwe. This isn't just another investment. It is a seismic moment. Aliko Dangote, the continent's richest man, has just committed a staggering $1 billion to transform Zimbabwe's economy. Cement, energy, fuel, agriculture. These are not just sectors. They are the foundation of a nation. And now, Dangote is betting that Zimbabwe is ready to rise again, ready to reclaim its strength, and ready to prove that African capital can solve African problems. Nigeria's industrial titan is no stranger to turning vision into reality. His projects across Africa have changed cities, created millions of jobs, and shown that African solutions can work for African people. Now all eyes are on Zimbabwe, a nation that has endured economic hardship, currency collapse, and infrastructure decay, but that has never lost hope. The government, under President Emerson Mnangagwa, has introduced bold reforms, increased transparency, and demonstrated a commitment to private sector investment. In Dangote's own words, Zimbabwe has passed the test. The stage is set for transformation, and the continent is watching. The investment is massive, but the vision is even bigger. This is not a simple factory or refinery. It is a comprehensive, multi-layered plan designed to tackle the very core of Zimbabwe's economic challenges. The plan cuts across 4 strategic sectors, each essential for growth: cement, energy, fuel, and agriculture. Each pillar reinforces the other, creating an integrated industrial engine that could redefine the nation's future. Let's begin with cement. For decades, Zimbabwe has relied heavily on imported cement, a dependence that drains foreign currency and slows infrastructure projects. Dangote's plan to build a high-capacity cement factory, capable of producing around 1.5 million tons per year, changes that equation entirely. Locally produced, affordable, high-quality cement will enable the country to build the roads, bridges, dams, and housing it needs to thrive. It's not just about construction. It's about building the backbone of a modern nation, creating jobs, and laying a foundation for long-term development. Next comes energy. Industries cannot operate, jobs cannot be sustained, and economies cannot grow without reliable electricity. Zimbabwe has struggled with chronic blackouts, leaving businesses to rely on costly diesel generators that make production expensive and unreliable. Dangote's investment addresses this problem head-on, with a coal mine and a dedicated coal-fired power station that will supply the industrial complex while feeding surplus energy into the national grid. This move will help stabilize electricity across the country, allowing businesses to operate efficiently and reducing one of the biggest barriers to industrial growth. Reliable power is the heartbeat of a functioning economy, and this project provides just that. The third, and perhaps most ambitious component, is fuel. Zimbabwe has long faced challenges due to its landlocked geography, high import costs, and inconsistent supply. Dangote's plan includes a 2,200-kilometer transnational petroleum pipeline from Namibia's Walvis Bay through Botswana and into Zimbabwe. With his massive Nigerian refinery soon producing refined products in bulk, fuel can be transported efficiently, reducing costs and stabilizing supply. This is more than an industrial win. It's a lifeline for millions of Zimbabweans who rely on fuel for transportation, business, and daily life. It is a project with regional significance, potentially transforming fuel logistics across southern Africa. The fourth pillar focuses on fertilizer and logistics. Zimbabwe's agricultural heritage is strong, but farmers have long struggled with access to affordable fertilizer, limiting yields and straining food security. Dangote's investment will produce fertilizer locally, reducing dependence on imports and helping the country feed its population more effectively. Coupled with logistics hubs and distribution centers, this component ensures efficiency from production to delivery, making agriculture a stronger, more profitable sector. Together, these four pillars, cement, energy, fuel, and agriculture, form a strategic, integrated plan that addresses Zimbabwe's most critical economic challenges. But the impact goes far beyond infrastructure. Thousands of direct and indirect jobs will be created in construction, mining, engineering, transport, and services. Local businesses will benefit from new contracts, while entire communities will experience a surge in opportunity. This is a ripple effect that can transform lives across the country. And then there is the symbolic power of this investment. When Aliko Dangote, a respected African industrialist, commits $1 billion to a single country, the message is clear: Africa can build Africa. This is not foreign aid or external intervention. It is African capital, African expertise, and African ambition creating African growth. For Zimbabwe, this investment is a statement of confidence, a signal to other investors that the nation is open for business, that reforms are real, and that the time to act is now. Consider the broader implications. Local cement production reduces imports, the power plant stabilizes electricity, the fuel pipeline ensures supply, and fertilizer supports agriculture. These four areas reinforce each other, creating a self-sustaining industrial ecosystem. For the first time in years, Zimbabwe has a plan that addresses its fundamental needs, builds its infrastructure, and stimulates its economy simultaneously. Beyond economics, there is hope. For generations who grew up under hardship, unemployment, and uncertainty, this investment is a tangible symbol of progress. It is a message that Africa can create its own destiny, that wealth can be reinvested on the continent, and that bold vision backed by capital can overcome long-standing challenges. The strategic significance also extends to regional integration. By transforming raw materials into finished products, cement from limestone, power from coal, fertilizer from minerals, Zimbabwe becomes a hub for value addition. This aligns perfectly with the goals of the African Continental Free Trade Area, connecting nations through infrastructure, trade, and shared growth. The country's landlocked status is no longer a limitation. It becomes a center for commerce and industry, serving southern Africa with products and services produced locally. So what does this mean for Zimbabwe? It could signal the dawn of a new industrial era. Dangote's investment is more than a single project. It is a strategic blueprint designed to tackle cement, energy, fuel, and agriculture simultaneously. The timing is crucial. With reforms in place, improved transparency, and a government committed to economic growth, Zimbabwe is positioned to transform its narrative from struggle to success. The road ahead will require commitment, stability, and consistent policy. But the pieces are in place. This billion-dollar investment is more than capital. It is a catalyst. It represents hope, opportunity, and confidence. It is a clear signal that Africa can shape its own destiny, that African leaders and entrepreneurs can invest in Africa's future, and that the continent's potential is limitless when vision meets action. For the people of Zimbabwe, this means jobs, security, and a chance to build a stronger nation. For Africa, it demonstrates the power of intra-African investment and continental collaboration. And for the world, it is proof that African capital, applied strategically, can achieve extraordinary results. Aliko Dangote's billion-dollar commitment is more than a business transaction. It is history in motion. It is a signal to skeptics, a blueprint for the continent, and a story of resilience, ambition, and African ingenuity. It proves that the future belongs to those bold enough to build it, and that Africa is ready to take charge of its economic destiny. The big question remains: will this investment deliver on its promise? The potential is enormous. The strategy is solid, and the execution is about to begin. For the first time in years, Zimbabweans can see a path toward stability, growth, and pride, a future built by Africans, for Africa. We want to hear from you. Do you believe this billion-dollar investment can transform Zimbabwe? What opportunities excite you the most? What challenges do you foresee? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation about Africa's rising future.